It's Tuesday night. What are you doing? Are you thinking about mini golf? Thinking about going mini golfing? Thinking about watching mini golf? Thinking about a bunch of people thinking about watching a bunch of people talk about mini golf on a streaming service? Well,
Yes.
if your answer is yes, like one of our guests, then you're in the right place.
Wait, it's Tuesday. Guys, I have to go. I have wash. I have laundry.
Okay, we're down to two guests now.
No, I'll wait. I'll wait. I guess we're here. We're here.
Come on, man. Your drawers can wait.
We're gonna
we're
gonna give you a chance to gather, and because the only video I have, I'm gonna try to show it again and see if it looks better than last time. We had a banner sitting all the way over it. So let's give this a shot.
Screw it.
Yes! Yes!
That was nuts.
That's one of the crazier ones I've seen.
That's good.
Filmed.
That's so good.
It felt very Gavin, and you probably want to see who we are. So let's go do that. Hello.
Oh, hey, friends. Hi.
Welcome to our show. This is we're gonna need a bigger mini golf, and I'm Mr. T. I'm Tom. I'm from a couple putts. And my co-host Pat is playing mini golf. So we're gonna have him join a little bit later. He's gonna come in and tell us about how he won tonight, and that's his excuse for being late. So we're really excited to hear him talk about his round tonight. But we're gonna talk some hardcore mini golf. This is our 4th episode with the same crew, and I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. And I'm pointing the right direction to my guest over here.
Hi, how are you? My name is Randy, and I play mini golf. I've also been known to go outside, and I've also been known to eat and sleep. I also host trivia on sometimes Tuesdays, but tonight's Tuesday, so I'm not. Next.
It's me. Hello. My name is Aaron Kaminsky, and I play miniature golf. I don't know where. I have one beer and I'm gone. So I am Aaron, aka El Presidente from O Street Mini Golf. We run a miniature golf league down in South Jersey. Down depending if you're in the North Mid-Atlantic region. If you're below or south of New Jersey, then we're above. Whatever. You get the gist. Jersey. We're in Jersey. Okay. We travel country videotaping or filming. Well, we need like a camcorder, like the VHS, and like go back to like big camera to like film everything. But no, we have a YouTube page. We have a miniature golf league. We're just a bunch of characters, just like the show Hardcore Mini Golf. And I think we've all been on Holy Moly. So is that just like a given thing now? We're just like, that's us.
I know it feels so fresh for you, but for us, this is old news.
Yeah, right. I know. Just like I'm kind of. It's gone. It's past. I'm kind of happy right now. Like that part of my life has happened, and I can move on and live my life. And
it is so nice to not have to wonder what it's gonna be.
No, right? I know.
Yeah.
I know. So, and then we'll take it to Tom.
That's real.
Yeah.
A+ on the.
We're going to start off with a few comments.
6 points.
Yeah, right. I'm learning. It only took every.
Yeah. We got some comments on YouTube. Jonathan React before the show started said pizza. Then he followed up by saying pizza. Then he followed up by saying pizza again. And guess what he said after that? Pizza. Nice. And then he said one more time pizza, followed by pizza, followed by pizza. Whoa, lost him.
Nope, there it is.
Still had to say pizza.
That's crazy.
Then pizza.
Oh, it really does have all those.
Hi, pizza.
That's wow.
Pizza. And then he said pizza more time. So
He's reading my mind. I literally had pizza before we started this. So,
and then Alan Cox.
Is it the morning?
King.
Good morning.
Right? It's the morning in Australia, right?
It's Wednesday morning.
Yep.
Wednesday morning.
Crap, we have to do the whole intro all over again. Sorry about that, Alan. Okay, Aussies, it's Wednesday morning. Time to put a shrimp on the barbie. We're going to talk about some kangaroos and some koalas and some wallabies. And I guess we're going to talk about hardcore mini golf. Yeah, so this is the 4th episode. We've been doing these talk shows called We're Gonna Need a Bigger Windmill, where we talk about Holy Moly, and we thought, let's talk about the other competitive mini golf show that popped up that's on Rooster Teeth and Achievement Hunter that's also online. And we did that. Oh, hey, Matt Sealander from Mini Golf US says hi too.
Yes.
What's up, Matt? So we're just on here talking about a bunch of goofballs down in Austin, Texas, playing on a course built in 1948 called Peter Pan, in the heart of one of the cooler cities, actually the coolest city in Texas, not even close, Austin, Texas. And it's also really close to some really cool stuff in Austin, this natural pool called Barton Springs and a big amphitheater. It's super cool. And yeah, Matt Sealander, is this live? Damn right, it's live.
We're doing this live.
And you know what he has to say after he finds out that it's live? He just says hi again.
Amazing.
You just need to put in pizza like another 20 times and we'll be good. But yeah, so there's this show, 16 people, made by a video streaming network that does a lot of board game and video game competition stuff called Achievement Hunter, part of the Rooster Teeth network. They have BIPs where you can bump the ball, $100 holes. They have costumed characters. They have refs. They have coin flips. They have it all. And what else did I forget? Oh, power-ups. And that's a big one. And they have an East and West course over at Peter Pan. And I believe both rounds they played on the West course with the big dinosaur at the end, or the big Peter Pan at the end. And so that's what we're going to talk about. And I'm going to do a brief recap of how we got here. So we've had 6 episodes of this show, half-hour shows. We had a round 1 where we had these 16 characters facing off. You see the winners. Keep in mind, again, this is a par 41, so these are some pretty lousy scores. And surprise, surprise, round 2, it didn't get that much better, but it got a little bit better where we had some people under 60, which is only at a 59, you're only 18 over par. So that's pretty cool. And where we left last week was our winners, Blaine and Jeremy, had faced off against each other, and Trevor and Gavin were facing off against each other. And I am going to throw it over to my friend Aaron here to start off the conversation about these two.
Yeah, so Gavin and Trevor, oh God, the Peacock Hole. That was kind of crazy. So yeah, I don't know really where we left off in terms of the previous episode, like what hole they were on or anything like this. But I'm so happy you left this one up for one of the pictures, because if there is any hole that you need to remember, it's this one. It's probably one of the best shots in the whole entire series. It's the craziest shot where Gavin has this air horn that he won from a power-up. And Trevor, so Gavin putts it. And
it's right in his pocket.
Right in it, yeah, it's right in it. You can see it right there. But Gavin putts, and surprise, it's not a good shot. He's doesn't even get it past the Peacock. And Trevor goes up and putts. And during their whole entire game, since Gavin's earned this power up, he's been teasing, just taunting a little bit. Oh, I'm going to use it. I might not. I might. He used this power up to his advantage the whole time without actually using it. Trevor goes up, and right before he putts, Gavin finally uses the air horn. Boom! It is crazy, throwing him off. Trevor hits Gavin's ball further, closer to the hole, maybe like a 2 or 3 foot putt, and Trevor's ball is completely off the course. Now, I don't know why Trevor didn't putt the ball where it was. Like, he's on a hill, he get it back on the course. Maybe the rules don't allow kind of play it where it lies. But I mean, how crazy was it to have an advantage, have this power up work like perfectly? I don't think the guys producing this would have thought this would have worked like this. I mean, it's all kind of a little improv, and everyone is a character. But I mean, this was just one of those crazy shots that you wished you got on camera, and they did, and it was epic. But Gavin is honestly, he has been slowly progressing as one of those players that, I don't know, it's surprisingly doing well. I mean, I thought he was going to lose in the first round, and now he's making it to the finals, which is kind of nuts. But yeah, and then should we go on to Blaine and Jeremy?
Yeah, I'll take that. So we got.
Sorry if we're having any technical difficulties.
Are we?
I think. Are you guys seeing? I had a quick blackout on my screen, but I think we're still good. So
I think it's good.
Okay.
Mine has been fine. So the other
quick break in the action.
semifinal. Oh, calling Brandon. Brandon,
are you there?
come on now.
Oh, and I need to advance my slide.
Oh, there we go. Wait, that was a crazy.
I've now become part of the course.
And let's get to the real action here.
Okay, so now we've got my personal hero, Blaine Gibson, against Jeremy Dooley. Okay, Blaine is easily the best reality mini golf character of not actual real, not being his actual self that I've ever seen my whole life before. He's doing a Macho Man Randy Savage voice, wearing the wrestling outfit against Jeremy, who's the Hannibal Lecter character. We're picking these guys up on their last hole of the match. Now, as you can see, the score going into this last hole, Blaine has a 9-stroke lead on Jeremy, and the max on any hole is 7. So this is over. Not much of a cliffhanger, but Blaine decides he's going to drop it up top from the ladder, like the good old-fashioned Macho Man flying elbow, except it's just a flying golf ball. So he sets up far back from the tee area, like on another hole. He putts off the ladder, and astonishingly, it works out pretty well, I'd say, all things considered. Anyway, like I said, he's got some room to fool around because he's got an insurmountable lead going into this last hole. So might as well have some fun with it. I mean, that's why we're here, right? So then Jeremy, who's been, you see Ref Larry there holding the ladder for Blaine. He's had a rough go in this semifinal match. He's been duped into becoming a snack for Jeremy Lecter over and over again. And because I guess that Larry helped Blaine tee up, somehow Jeremy fools Larry into bending down to the ground to place his ball in the tee box, and it's snack time once again.
He knows better. Larry knows better.
He should know better. At this point, Larry deserves it. At this point, you deserve every chunk you're missing, Larry. So anyway, so Blaine wins the match, and this is when the commentators tell him that his opponent in the final match will be Gavin Free, the human turf. And
that was a
very rare moment. Blaine has not broken. He's been one of the best, most consistent character guys in this whole thing. He could not contain himself. He was shocked and amazed that his opponent would be Gavin. So he's just laughing and trying to keep his character, but he couldn't even do it. Pat's here. He's keeping his character. What's up, Pat?
What's up? I was late because of mini golf. Who would have thunk?
Well, I mean, it's the only acceptable thing that there could be.
Yeah, no, it really is.
We're just talking about Blaine breaking character when he finds out that his final opponent will be Gavin. And he just starts laughing about it.
No shit. A little.
Whoa, really?
I think he specifically said no shit. Like, just like started laughing. Which he should have said, as Gary Shipp said, "Oh yeah,
oh yeah." So this brings us, before we get to the final match, we have a consolation match for third place with our two semifinal losers. I'll just tee it up for you, Aaron.
Thank you.
This is a 9-hole third place consolation match, which, as commentator Jeff says, the prize, a lifetime of virginity.
That was pretty good.
So if you lost your virginity, do you just bring it back? You lose.
You go back into it.
Experience or lack thereof. Like, I'm so there's so
it's
much.
Reassigned to you.
It's 9 holes. They're playing for third place, and virginity's on the line. There's no rules. There's no rules. But yeah, so like Randy mentioned, it's Jeremy and Trevor for this third place game, and these two beaten down Marvel battle bots of the RTU, which is the Rooster Teeth universe. I'm making that a thing now. Are trying to keep some dignity at this point. Who will be the biggest loser? Find out. No, wrong show. Who will win bronze? And we'll just dive into it. So like Randy mentioned, 9 holes. Jeremy and Trevor head to hole 1 on one of the 2 courses. Tom maybe can help me out. Which one?
West. I believe it's West.
Okay, so it's the one that they didn't play for their semifinal round, pretty much.
Then that was the East. That was right. You're right. That was East.
Okay, cool. So Trevor wins the toss and lets Jeremy hit first, and he's in front of the sand trap, which is a pretty good shot. It looks like it's kind of downhill, and Trevor lightly tapped the ball. Obviously, he didn't look at Jeremy's shot before he went, and the ball went downhill and got behind the sand trap. Even though I thought maybe a lighter hit would have worked, but whatever. And Jeremy sinks it in for 2. Trevor gets a bank, but it comes back to where he was, and he walks away with a 4. Hole number 2. Jeremy gets behind this triangle barrier obstacle and putts a 4. Now, the scoreboard stated 5, so technically it was a 2 on the first hole and a 3 on the second hole. So the score's messed up. And maybe I can't count the 4, but I'm pretty sure Jeremy shot a 4 and not a 3. But who am I? Right? A little controversy, a little sprinkle. But Trevor's ball doesn't make it up the hill on this one, on his tee shot, and goes off the course. I'm assuming there's a penalty because at the end he ends up getting a 5. On hole number 3, Trevor hits another bad tee shot, surprise, but scores a 3, which is pretty good. Jeremy, on the other hand, he kind of fell apart. He hit the ball too light on a few of the shots, and he ended up taking a 5. Now, they list the score with Jeremy having a 10 and Trevor having a 12. Honestly, I think Jeremy still technically has an 11, but Jeremy almost makes a hole 1 off of his tee shot and makes a nice little 2-putt. And Trevor, his second and third shots were pretty hot to the point where I think the third shot bounced out of the hole. So he walked away with a 4 with like this super wide stance. I'm not much of an athlete, but I guess that's what athletes do. So he made a 4, which isn't that great. Hole number 5, I believe the score is 12-16 on the scoreboard. Jeremy's tee shot is just another close hole-in-one, but both players pretty much got a 2 on this like inverted volcano. Hole hole 6, definitely one of the hardest holes on the course with the bridge. Both players hit it way too hard, and this is where like a little strategy and bipping came into play, where Jeremy laid up the ball, and then Trevor hit his ball out of the way. I think Trevor ended up getting a 5, and he got a power up where Jeremy tried for the power up, didn't go through, and he got a 7. So Trevor's slowly inching his way closer to Jeremy. I think at this point the score is 21 Jeremy, 23 Trevor, and we're on hole 7. And the power up that Jeremy now has to do are these like stuffed animal claw glove things that he has to putt on, which he's still handcuffed. So what? Like, all right, so you're handcuffed and you have to putt in these gloves, which I don't know if it's a major disadvantage, but it's another element, of course. He hits his first shot, and it gets behind that like weird shaped obstacle block thing that's like at the hole, and he lays up the ball and gives himself a nice 3, and I believe Trevor got a 3 as well. Hole 8 was the loop hole. That was pretty nice. Jeremy's tee shot was just so sweet. I think he was just a few feet from the hole and tapped it in. Trevor's first putt was pretty good. He missed it backdoor, and then it came back down the hill and almost went in at that point. So both players got it too. Now we're on the final hole, hole number 9, and both players get it down to the second level in their first shots. Trevor misses the putt again, hitting it with way too much speed, but Jeremy, with his composure, sinks it for a nice 2. Which is amazing. And he is our third place winner up until the point he runs away. He literally sprints away knowing that this is like the last few moments that he has in public before they lock him back up. That poor. What did he do? He was just hungry, guys. Come on. It's not fair. It's not fair. So Jeremy runs off, and Trevor – by default wins third place, which is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like Jeremy has been my favorite player this whole time. I'm happy he got third, and the man couldn't even get the award. Not cool. Not cool.
I have to say that miss. I rewatched Gavin's miss or Trevor's miss on that last hole. Oh my god! It was like.
He just flew by.
It was like 2 feet. It was like 2 feet, like off though. Like it wasn't even like the power. It was like 2 feet off, and he was like 4 feet away. It was like, what are you doing?
It was ridiculous.
I did not love this match. I have to say, this one bored me to tears. Like there was a little bit of interaction, but I don't know. Like like
me too.
The personalities
and. You would think maybe at this point that the golfing would be pretty good, but it is what it is.
Yeah. So now with Jeremy MIA in the brush somewhere, we're at our final match. Wanted. We're at our final match. Now we really amp up the party atmosphere here.
Whoop, whoop.
We have. Not only do we have all of the other competitors who've been eliminated along the way in the entire season, but we also have seen some random friends and family. Just there's some hanger-outers, and they are there to have a good time, and they are not there to restrain themselves, which is great. I thought this was. I mean, I don't want to get ahead of the show, but spoiler alert: my ace is the audience being on the course. I just walked into it. I'm sorry for jumping the gun, but
I think that's a great thing to mention.
I thought it was maybe what the show. I understand logistically, it's probably really tough to actually accomplish for the whole thing because they're probably on a tight schedule and doing a lot of stuff at once. But oh man, it helped. It helped the entertainment value of everything. Just like now we're watching sports, and it's like it's kind of sports, but there's nobody there, and it's like fake crowd noise, and it's weird. It's so much more fun with a live energy. So we've got the audience, we've got our finalists, Blaine Gibson, Blaine Macho Man Gibson, yeah, and Gavin Turf Free. He is Turf. He is the Turf. He's one with the Turf.
Gavin, so turf right now. Gavin.
Yeah.
So hot.
So
That's something about it.
So we get our last first lube up from Blaine as he oils himself into the match. So the first 3 holes, disaster for Blaine out of the gate. I mean, he almost couldn't do worse. He's 4 and 5 putting everything. Gavin is doing great with sick bank shots from behind obstacles, up to the normal shenanigans a little, but you could tell Gavin was like looking to start strong. Definitely, he was like, "I'll get to the gimmick later. I'm gonna make sure I'm secure score wise here for a little bit," and it worked because on hole 3, Blaine took the max of 7, and Gavin had 7 for all 3 holes combined, as you see on the graphic. That's after 3 holes.
Yikes.
But really rough place to start for Blaine. And he's been really good at like brushing stuff off and just being about the character, but it really seemed to get to him. It looked like he got 8 strokes behind in 3 holes and said, well, that's done. And so he just kind of ambled through the rest of the match. Not everything was bad, but we get to the volcano, for example, which has a little bit of a downward incline leading up, but then it's a steep, maybe 2-foot volcano you have to get the ball into. And inexplicably, Blaine taps the ball out of the tee box, doesn't have a chance ever. And Gavin goes with a pool cue shot from the tee box, also doesn't really have a chance. But that was where, for me, the entertainment value of this match opened up, when they both, whatever it was that made them think, you know what, all right, whatever, let's just give the people a show, give the people what they want. And they did. And then right after the volcano, everyone is eating for some reason. Everybody's feeding each other and eating meats and cheeses. Jeremy pops up in a bush. We don't pay much mind to it. They just kind of show Jeremy in a bush and nobody notices because they're just busy eating, like Jeremy wants to do, rubbing it in his face. And so then we come up to the bridge hole, that looping around where you have to come back to over the bridge. This is the real beginning of the end for Blaine. He was in trouble before, but then he tried to take a risky shot across the bridge. It jumps off the bridge and goes back to the beginning of the hole, and it's a disaster all around. Both guys max out at 7 on that hole.
Yep.
However, Gavin's able to get the power up, which ended up being, for the next hole, the large, heavy metal golf ball or metal ball that Blaine had to use to putt. And this buried Blaine for more than just the one hole, because he was determined to not be held back by the weight of that ball. So he was bashing it. And he was doing okay, all things considered. But then the next 2 holes, Blaine's tee shots went out of bounds because he was like swinging for the fences. He couldn't shake the metal ball. It's more disasters for Blaine. Then we come to hole 10. At the half, it was 29 Gavin and 38 for Blaine. So we go to hole 10, and our good buddy and show creator Jack says nobody's getting a $100 hole on this one. And Jeff asks why, and he says, well, because I put a box in front of the hole, and there's this giant obstacle straight up directly in front of the hole. So, of course, Gavin sits on a pylon, smacks away, and as Jack is saying, maybe Tiger Woods could do it, maybe. He drains it. Gavin drains it off through the back door, off the obstacle twice for the first and only $100 hole-in-one of the entire season. Now, granted, every hole in the final match was a $100 hole, but still, even that being the case, it's the only one. He celebrates by making the interesting choice of breaking equipment that most certainly he didn't pay for. That was an interesting choice, but hey, sometimes glory gets you, and you gotta let it out. You gotta let that aggressive joy out of your body, out of your turf, as it were.
In his defense, it does look like a piñata. I'm thinking it's going to be like candy or small airplane bottles of Fireball, which he had.
I wanted stuff to fall out of there. Me too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So then Gavin starts really showboating after this. The next 2 holes after his hole-in-one, he's riding high. He's feeling the flow, working it, doing the bull dance, and he comes around and takes, for 2 holes in a row, his tee shot is an out-of-bounds shortcut. Or in one case, it wasn't actually a shortcut. But so Gavin's really playing with fire here. Caution to the wind. He's going for he's letting his inner turf out. He's been reserved and kind of this aloof character, and now he's like really feeding off the energy of the crowd and his performance, which is really pretty good, especially compared to Blaine. And so he's just letting loose, doing all kinds of funny stuff. Not a lot of great putting to speak of as we move towards the end of the match here, including a pair of 6s on one hole. Somebody was taking a putt from sitting on an alligator, straddle style. These guys both took their... Yeah, he grabbed the quiet placard from Larry the ref, putted with that, sunk it, by the way.
Amazing.
I mean, he was really, really sort of in an unstoppable wave of glory, Gavin was. Then we come up, Gavin starts giving us a little bit of a hint that maybe he's become too cocky, and he goes out of bounds on his tee shot on holes 15 and 16. So now we're like, wait a second. This seems impossible because he's got a 10-stroke lead on Blaine. But is he about to give this away? And I would believe it. I would believe it. But Blaine only picks up a couple of strokes. And that is how it stays. Blaine misses the second power-up also. Gavin gets it. He's got to putt with the sledge axe. So more power woes for Blaine. He actually looked like even he had a tough time figuring out how to maneuver that thing. It must be super heavy. His ball went out of bounds on the tee shot. Then we get to the final hole. I believe both guys got Blaine got a 3, Gavin got a 4, but the cushion was already there. Blaine gets a 70 somehow, made it to the finals, and is still shooting 70. And Gavin with a 62 to become your hardcore miniature golf champion.
Woo-hoo! We did it, guys. We did it.
Celebration.
They did it. We did it. I did feel accomplished too, actually, getting to the end. Not in a bad way.
Was that Gavin's best score?
No.
Okay.
No, he had a 60 in the semifinals, I think.
All right. So, but not all right.
But still,
no one improved.
Not really. I mean, a 70 from the second place finishers, pretty bad.
And they played the course. They already played that course.
Yeah, that's one round.
Oh God. But hey, you know what? It's hardcore mini golf. It's not supposed to be easy.
It is. By the way, I don't want to leave out one of my favorite Blaine quotes from the entire season. When, as he was 3-putting for his 70, he referred to his performance as a Cinderella story. Yeah. I don't know what that meant, but it was my favorite thing he said.
Beautiful
story.
Caddyshack reference.
Yeah, one that hasn't made a movie because it's not good.
Yeah.
It's like all those movies, but the hero loses or dies or gets second.
Yeah.
Oh God.
And it's like
he's Harry at speed.
And we made it, though. We made it through this. We made it through all 8 episodes.
Sorry, just ends 3/4 of the movie blows up. That's it.
I know.
The end.
Yeah.
The bus blows up. It's such a great reference.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I'll step on some things on my thoughts on the episode. I know everybody loved it. I think there was so much fun stuff, like the setup, the filming at night, and everything. Like, it looked perfect. And literally, the thing that bummed me out about the final episode was I was rooting for Blaine, which there was stakes, which I liked it. Which in some ways, part of the reason I didn't like it was because, you don't like the game where your hero doesn't win. So there's that. But the other part was I would have just loved for it to got a little bit closer, and it was just over so quick. And I thought they could have done so much more with the audience. It was close, and
the third hole pretty much.
It was. It never got closer than 8. That's why I had pulled that screenshot, because I went back and watched. And I was like, wow, it was really over that early. I just kept waiting, and I mean. And Pat and I were exchanging, and Pat, I think you had a really good point about the fact that Blaine didn't win. Do you remember what you had said to me about that, or am I just teeing you up for something
that I don't remember? Oh, about the authenticity of it? Was that?
Yeah.
I mean, that was the thing. This was the one point where you could really tell, it was authentic, because you can't control that thing, and that you sit there and you're like, right, everything was in place. They had all the people on the course. They were having a good time. They spruced the course up. They put little flags in all the cups, and they did all of that. And you're 3 holes in, and you just sit there. You're like, well, if it was produced, you could do something about it. But now you're sitting there going, holy crap.
To the cheese and charcuterie board.
Right.
That was interesting.
I did not envy the editors at that point, because you're sitting there and you're like, well, what do I need to do? I mean, it's just imagine if you've ever watched, a blowout Super Bowl. If you were to go back and hand that to somebody and say, make this interesting for, an hour, that's a hard job. And so, it sucks. To Tom's point, I think we're all rooting for Blaine, but even. And I was even hoping, I think, Randy, you made the point, Gavin started to really just hit the ball all over the damn place. And you're just string 2 2s together, and it'll be an exciting last couple holes, sort of.
Sure.
Ramped it up, and it was just, it's unfortunate. It was simultaneously the most interesting and most boring episode that they had.
Yes.
For me, knowing how every episode has played out, where someone's doing well and then they just fall apart, or the gameplay is just horrendous. I'm thinking, I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm like, Blaine's going to make a comeback, because there's no way in hell Gavin has this. And he's going crazy. He's purposely putting out of bounds for trick shots, knowing that he has a huge lead. But he, at any hole, he can easily get a 7. Blaine can get a 2 and just flips the script. I mean, and that's for me, where I'm like, all right, there's no way that Gavin's going to win this. And he does. It's something, it's the most shocking outcome for me, the whole entire series. And Blaine played better throughout the whole entire series. But listen, if you don't bring it to the championship, it really doesn't matter.
Now, excuses only go so far, by the way, but I do want to speak in defense of my hero, Blaine Gibson. And I want to say he was, from early in the final match, he was having problems with the spectacles. Or was that the match before?
No, that was that one. You're
That was
right.
the finals.
Yeah.
It was right in the beginning.
Dark. Yep.
So I thought that was funny too. How they he said, "I'm going to take these off. Can't see. Yeah. All right, I'll put them back on. Yeah, I'm not allowed to take them off. All right." I don't know who told him he's not allowed to take them off, but I would imagine it's something between, oily hands and the Texas heat fogging him up. I don't know. He was definitely having issues with the specs. So I'm blaming this loss on the specs, even though they made him look like $1 million. They didn't win him.
He got
100.
covered.
They made him look like $1 million.
Look at that. I mean, look at this. Look how much they were just like. I kind of noticed that it was like getting all over his hands and getting all over his putter. And I was like, this could actually, there's like enough going on here that this could actually affect him playing in a weird way. Like for those of us on season one of Holy Moly, slip and putt, it's the same thing. Like you have like all of this crap all over your hands and trying to hold a putter like steady and hit the ball. It gets a little bit more difficult and like did a lot of people in. I was shocked though, like how off he was, but even more that I think Gavin wasn't trying in some parts. He was just like kind of like peacocking through the second half and kept like outdoing Blaine. Blaine couldn't like, he was just like given all of these openings. I was like, come on, Blaine, like just make this close. Like, because the funny thing is didn't Gavin, if I'm correct, in one of the previous episodes when he was playing Michael missed literally like a 5-inch putt. He made like he missed that one short and then they had a playoff. Wasn't that match?
Yeah.
So he shouldn't even have been there. And his first match where he's playing Fiona, he barely beat her. Like they were just both like drunk and kind of done with it. It was sort of like the most like unexpected ending, but also in a weird way, it's kind of awesome that the mini golf tournament's won by the mini golf turf guy, the guy who looks like mini golf. So in like a weird way, it was like perfect. I loved his character. I was just like shocked, like how, like I thought Blaine could have made a comeback at any point with the way that Gavin was playing. It was like, what's going on?
Course always.
Wins. To beat the course, you got to be the course. You know what I mean? Should we run through some more of the I didn't even do any of my banners throughout the whole thing. Look at this. I made this. This, look at that. Look at this.
Power
we did some aces. We did some bogeys. But so here's the question. We can talk about mini golf or Chewy, or in our bottom corner, can we talk about one Aaron Kaminsky's appearance on Holy Moly this week? Because I mean, there's comparisons. I mean, look at this. You have both second place people showing off their chests, like really going for it. Got the bod in place, like maybe that's something. We do have a comment here. Tom Hutchinson says, loving the stash, O Street representing.
I do have a stash. I didn't realize that.
Look at Tom's stash. Tom's got a pretty good stash too there.
Tom has a stash. He's stashing something underneath that stash.
Look at that cookie duster.
It's insane. It is insane. But wait, my episode aired. I didn't even realize that. Shoot,
that Holy Moly!
Did I miss
check it out?
Yeah, I gotta watch
that.
No, but it was a crazy ride, as all three of you surely do know, and leading up to it, I was just kind of curious what Rob was going to say about me, and I think he was fairly kind.
Yeah, you did okay.
Right? I'm like they dropped the name, the nickname a lot, which was great. And I listen, I gave it my all, and there was no way in hell I was shorting a putt on national television. There's no way.
Can't blame you for that.
And to be honest with you, I don't know how you make the putt without giving it a little love, because you have to get over that hill. And
right. And look, she had a clear shot and no real obstacles, so you had to figure she was probably gonna get it. So you had to get it.
Absolutely. And
Yeah, it was all or nothing. I don't blame you a bit.
Yeah. I was talking to somebody else about just like the mental aspect of any game, especially if you're going like one-on-one. Like, say Mallory made it through the porta potties, which she was very close. That throws my game off completely, like just from the start. And then, say I make my shot. Now the tables have turned. So the mental aspect of the game, it's so crazy where if she went first, missed, not to say I would make my shot, but my shot's a little bit easier and vice versa. I think Tom mentioned in the recap of my episode, I'm shocked she didn't lay it up. She could have easily laid it up, played it safe, gotten a 3 and won. But hell, if I knew I was going to make that shot, I'll go for that every single time. That was a hell of a way to win. And I'm excited to see the championship. I'm really pumped. There's some good golfers, and who knows what to expect.
Yeah,
well, I think you did a hell of a job, man. I think well, you did better than I did. That's for sure.
Much appreciated. It is.
It's tough, and it sucks. Like when you lose on that stage, like the adrenaline. I don't think people understand the adrenaline for playing in that kind of a setting. You're playing in front of an odd group of people that are watching you and somehow cheering for you and know about you, and in front of like more cameras than you've probably ever seen at any place, and probably the most not even probably the most expensive mini golf course any of us have ever seen by like 10 times. Like it's like a $10 million mini golf course.
Oh yeah,
it's crazy.
It's like a once in a lifetime opportunity. And even with Dragon's Breath, they brought a big group out, and they were splitting them to 2 different holes. One was Dragon's Breath, and the other one was Beaver Creek. And they're like, we're going to light you on fire. You'll be walking in or coming in on horseback and all this stuff. Or you could play Beaver Creek. And I'm like, God, light me on fire. Light me on fire. Yes, they did. And honestly, I wouldn't have really cared win or lose, because that was just the craziest thing I've ever done and probably will ever do in my life. The next time I'm going to be lit on fire, I'll probably be dead. So,
you heard it here first.
Yep. Literally, second, like on my gravestone, Aaron Kamensky died second time lit on fire.
You got, and not only did you get good treatment by Riggle, you got called Dapper. You got called Regal.
Right.
Like, even like
that was quite a pose walking through the drawbridge.
Yeah, that was amazing.
The drawbridge pose and the background of
epic.
I had to ham it up, seriously, because I was gonna lose. I could have went either way at that point. I didn't realize Uzo's shot, and to be honest with you, I'm looking at the balls, not realizing mine was yellow. And I look at Uzo's and I'm like, God, I have a horrible putt. And then he goes over there. I wonder why is he over there? Oh, that's not my ball. That sucks. But no, honestly, like, I don't know, if you guys really connected with the people that you played against, but my experience being on set was so much better with the people that I played against. Andy was a hell of a time. Uzo is a character on and off the course. I mean, the fact that he talked about eating snacks to gain his strength is hilarious, because the dude ate all the snacks in the tent and lined his bag with snacks and his pocket and everything. I mean, like, it's hilarious that they used that. I was dying. And Mallory, actually, she was probably the one person I didn't connect with as much, because she was playing Dutch Courage right before she played hole number 2. I mean, she had a busy night. But no, all 3 competitors.
She did her semifinal the night you did your final?
Yeah. They had to knock him out. Yeah, which is kind of crazy. But all 3 competitors, it just made the experience so much more fun. I could have played against somebody who wasn't as friendly or full of themselves, like Evan. Obviously, not good. But no, seriously, like I feel like depending on who you played against could have, I don't know, swayed how you really enjoyed the whole experience. So I feel like I got lucky in more ways than one.
You did.
Yeah, you did.
Because you definitely made the most of it, and so proud of you for that, bud.
Yeah,
A plus.
100%. Like, I'd honestly rather be in the position where I was, where I lost to like an awesome dude like John, who's like an incredible golfer. Like, he's awesome on social media. By the way, follow John Leapak. He is a fun follow. He's super nice person. I even took golf putting lessons from him. Like, he's great. He's super talented. And like, I didn't make the finals, but if I would have lost to some of the people that won, it would have drove me up the wall. And it's funny, not to step on well, I think this is more of a promotion. I watched Aaron's interview with Marnie. They had a really great match on O Street's video, and he did an interview with her. And she even talked about, you know what? Like, if I'm going to lose to somebody, I might as well lose to someone who's super nice and has like a cool background. Like, she's like, there were some people that were real jerks. And I would say the overwhelming majority of people that I've interacted with between both seasons, whether it's online or in person, they're all pretty great. But the handful that are kind of weird or jerks, oddly, a bunch of them advanced. Like, a couple people who lost in the first round. I remember you were there, Randy, for that tiebreaker night on Surfer Turf. That was so hard because there's so many fun characters. The two Glauser brothers they were so much fun. Like, there was a bunch of people like that it was just like one of those like moments where you're like, we're all having so much fun and waiting around, and then all of a sudden it's over and you're like, oh crap. Like I've been running on adrenaline and can't sleep, and now it just feels like, how do I get back and do this again and hang out in a tent for too many hours to get to play a weird mini golf course?
Right. It's tough too, because I think like, and Aaron, you and I probably even more so, it's the adrenaline, it's all that stuff, but there's a lot of pressure when you're a tournament player.
Oh yeah,
too, because the people you play against in tournaments are going to see you, and like you need to put on a halfway decent show. So like, I remember sitting in the tent, and like, I didn't get to know Madison that well, but like Diane and I, obviously we spent a lot of time together before our match, and again, super glad she was the one I lost to. Because it just made it that much better. But like, you're having this conversation, and in the back of your head, you're like, I gotta like beat this person. Like, I have to step up on national television, because I know the next tournament I go to, the next whatever, I'm gonna get a ribbing either way. So having that like that comfort level of being padded a little bit by losing to somebody you actually really liked helped a lot, versus like if I had played Jimmy and freaking lost to Jimmy, I probably would have put my club in the water.
No, seriously.
Some of us did.
Well, yeah.
I'm all Team Mallory right now, because you're right. If Mallory wins this whole entire thing, it makes me look a lot better that I lost to the champ. So, and same with Marnie talking about Eric. I mean, it only betters us, and then it's also nice knowing that someone that you got to know and is a cool person, could potentially win this whole thing, which is really awesome. The one funny thing was we had our O Street's league game, the last game of the season, on Sunday. What's today? Tuesday, right? Yeah, so a few days ago. And everyone wasn't really talking about my putting, but they were like, your dive sucked. I thought you were like, listen, I wasn't good doing a start into the water. I didn't do flips when I was swimming. Like, what did you expect? Like, yeah, I wore a Speedo, but I can't dive to save my life. I'm happy I got one flip. But no, it was like, go figure. Like, I'm right now, I want to take this moment to apologize to all my swimming diving friends, because I respected them. Not only just the pro mini golf community, but yeah, there was a lot on the line for that, and I didn't show up until my corkscrew at the end. That was my best dive.
That was redemption.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, but how many of your swimming and diving friends have gotten scored on their dives from Greg Louganis.
Greg
Like a gold
Louganis.
medal winner. And Steve Gutenberg and a costumed gopher. I'm sorry, but like, oh, I won a diving competition in like college or high school. Who cares? Steve Gutenberg gave me a 9.5. Screw you.
And I thought that was a good score. And then Andy just she got such a great score from everybody. But no, you're absolutely right. I mean, like, that's another awesome experience where I played, again, Beaver Creek, which I know you guys talk about your favorite holes and the worst holes. Like, I could have played that hole and not had the interaction with Greg Louganis and Steve Gutenberg and Sir Golf and course Marshal Joe. Like, I mean, that was just a crazy. The only thing I would say would be I would have loved to have that hole with John Lovitz. That would have been pretty epic. But no, honestly, to be able to do some type of swimming element, get judged by some badass people, and make it as far as I did, it's a win in my book. Honestly, I was so happy to get on the show. My mentality was just to have fun with it because, come on, how many people really get on it? And it's just it's kind of crazy that we all have been on this show. But yeah, I had a blast.
You did well. You did super, super well.
By golly, I tried.
We had a 4. You got a 4 from Gary Schiff.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you.
Well, what do you want to do here? Do we want to wrap up and talk about some mini golf stuff coming on? Let's do it. Let's find my banner. I made it. We might as well talk about it.
Mini golf stuff worldwide. Like a bad.
Who wants to go first? Randy.
I played some mini golf today. Please go out and support your local mini golf courses. I had a great 3-game series with a good friend in which we each won one game. So we went for a rubber match. I ended up winning the rubber match by 1 stroke, but our overall stroke total for 3 games was tied.
Wow.
I mean, it was the most fun. Mini golf is so fun. Don't be thrown off by Blaine and Gavin's giant disaster. Go play mini golf. It's so fun. Support your local business owners, please, for the love of Christmas.
You can't do as bad as them. You just can't.
I played 2 rounds today and shot 85. So I mean,
yeah, they was. Oh God. I guess for Pat. No, other one. Yeah, there we go.
You.
Me. Okay. It was good. Got it. So we just finished up our last game of our summer league. It was at a course called Pirates of the Golden Galleon. They have 2 courses, Starboard and Port. We played Starboard last year, where it's a course where you can easily get a lot of home ones. I shot my best score ever last year, which was a 28, and got 11 hole in ones. So you can kind of just see that type of course.
Whoa!
But the port side's a little more difficult. You can still get as many hole in ones as Starboard, but they're not as easy. I mean, they're real skill shots that you have to make. And I'm happy. I got second place. I got 7 hole in ones and a 32. But Rudy Reel, shout out to Rudy Reel right now. He did not have a great season, but game 9 he got second place, and game 10 he shot a 30 with 10 home ones.
What?
League record. And yeah, I mean he needed 4 points to get to the championship, and winning gets you 10 and an automatic invite. So I'm happy he's in the championship, and yeah, it was a great win. So not this Sunday, but the following Sunday is our championship game at Offshore Adventure Golf. It's an extremely challenging course, a lot of water hazards and sand traps. So it's going to be a high-scoring game, high stakes, a lot on the line. And then a week after that is our $1,000 tournament in Avalon at Go Fish Mini Golf that I'm really excited about. I think we're going to have a great turnout, some great putters like Pats will
Hopefully.
be down there. Yeah, we have a lot of good things coming up. And then, of course, Pat will probably talk about what's going on in September up his way.
Yep. So Tuesday nights is our league night at Matterhorn, which was why I was late. We do 2-round leagues. It leads all the way up to the week of September 19th, which is when we have our tournament, which you still got 4 days to do early bird registration for.
Oh, yeah.
If you're playing in the pro league, amateur, whatever, you can come whenever and pay. So we got that. Yeah, I do plan, as long as New Jersey stays on the safe to travel list from Connecticut, hopefully we'll be down there. And then we got a couple other local tournaments coming up. We'll talk probably a little bit more about those on Friday. But recently, this past weekend, we also completed our Putt 18 week 3 rounds, which collectively we are all sort of okay if you kind of stop with everybody who's like 2 places above me, because then after that the scores are ridiculously insane. But it has been fun doing that every couple of weeks as well. So those are, I think, the mini golf happenings. Shout out to Mini Golf News, which I'm the editor of. We're actually picking up some stuff. It's been a slow few months, but starting to get some articles and stuff in there. And a shout out to Malta, which just became the newest of the WMF members. And we'll be having an article about their entry into the World Mini Golf Sport Federation. And I should know how many countries this makes. I think it's in the high 60s, because I think it's 75 to be on the IOC recognition path. So we're working there, but just got some information on that. So I thought that was kind of cool. Not a country you normally think of, but apparently they like their mini golf.
So my geography is not as bad as Rudy's. He thought Maryland was north of New Jersey, but
wow.
Listen, a whole nother topic, another day for that, but just a taste. Where is that country located for the viewers that don't really know?
Near Greece, right?
Right?
Yeah, Mediterranean. I'm gonna
okay.
Look it up.
All right.
Yeah, I think it's right. I think it's right in like the Mediterranean, near Greece, kind of near Italy.
I couldn't point it out on a map because I'm American. Thanks, Google Maps. You just show me a country, a picture of the island, and not like anywhere near where
anywhere.
Just do directions from your place to Malta. Walking directions.
It's kind of yeah. It's kind of off the end of Italy there. So
cool. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's tiny little country. So we're gonna have to go play mini golf there at some point.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, let's make it happen. Pat and I were talking about we need to get like a Putt 18 reunion, get everybody from like New Zealand, UK, Australia, and US together and play somewhere. And I think that's got to happen. I think we got to have some of those meetups. I don't know that we should play Putt 18 when we get together though. No, although it could be wild to do like hardcore Putt 18. We're like throwing stuff at people trying to play on the pit. I think that'd be the only way that it could be really enjoyable to like watch and be there in person. But it's fun I have to say, it's been really fun, like talking about what Pat mentioned. Stay tuned for all of us on like social media. We're posting videos of the pro Putt 18 league from people around the world. And we're 5 of the best Putt 18 players in the league from the United States.
For the United States, five of the best.
I think
there are 95 people here. Tom, what are you talking about?
Chewy. You're forgetting Chewy.
Chewy could have a run at it.
We're 4 of the top 5.
Honestly, I want a backboard. I want to, like, if I miss it, I have the option to hit it hard and roll back down.
They actually have that.
I saw.
Is that allowed for the tournament?
It's not allowed for the tournament, but they have a pyramid shaped thing, like a roll bar that you can play that way. Which I was like, whatever. But I need to go back and practice because I've been playing off the wall, which becomes way more difficult for the par 3 because of where you situate your par 4 and par 5 shots.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
But yes. So Putt 18 still happening. If you go over to a couple of putts, that's the thing that my wife Robin and I do. We've been putting up new reviews. We just put up a post of photos of a really cool artist design course in St. Louis at the Sheldon Museum. There's hole that is tacos meet Louis Vuitton. And then somewhere in the museum, there are weird, large 2x3 foot prints of Robin and I playing mini golf on our honeymoon on safari. So that's like a strange thing. I've mentioned before we have a tournament in about a month at a course called Lily Putt that's going to be super exciting. Robin and I are going to try to travel up north of Minneapolis and St. Paul to go to Duluth to play some courses we've never played before. So that's about all we've got on the docket. There's lots of great mini golf stuff that if you want to tune into it, you can tune into this talk show. We're going to have a lot more episodes coming up. We have 3 more episodes of Holy Moly. Pat and I have been plotting out something wild for the finale. We'll see how that comes together, but it could be a lot of guests and a lot of surprises. We can have up to 10 people on the StreamYard thing, so we might get guests from throughout the season, recap each hole. And this week we're finalizing. Pat, do you have an announcement about this Friday for your end?
Yeah, so as far as I know, my co-penguin Mandy's in our show this week.
And my companion and wife, Robin, will be the other guest on this week. So it'll be full putting penguin and couple of putts talking about
epic
an episode where there is a pro football player, someone making cookies, and the episode has something to do about a free bath. And then not to like get too far ahead of ourselves, but since we're here on Hardcore Mini Golf and want to lead it out further, 2 weeks after the last episode of the season, we're having the family with 2 championships on Holy Moly on to talk about
those
winning Holy Moly. So we're going to have Mick and Diane Cullen on together, probably in their jackets. We'll see.
Yeah,
talking about all 12 episode winners, what it's like to win on Holy Moly, and just to talk about mini golf. And if you followed either of their journeys on Holy Moly, they are wonderful people and a great follow. So we're looking forward to that, but we're making the best in the pandemic. So Randy?
Hey, Tom, does Robin still have those masks left?
Good question. If you go to minigolfgoods.com, we have a bunch of stuff for sale and a couple of putts. And one of the things that Robin made was she found a mini golf pattern and made masks out of them and has them on her store. We are out of the adult large. We only have the regular, but I will say, and Randy, did you receive your masks already?
I got them today, and it's like finally one that fits my giant face. I'm so grateful for it, and it's got golf balls on it.
And I would say the
scorecards, it's awesome. They're awesome.
I would say the regular, like for those of us that have beards, probably the large would have fit. But if you have for a regular, will fit me probably without the beard perfect, but with it still works. And I think it would fit someone like Aaron or most people fine. So if you want to order one of those masks in a regular, stop by, grab that, grab a golf ball, grab a mini golf is for everyone mug if you feel like it. Got all sorts of fun stuff for sale and just trying to have fun. So I don't know. I'll pull a card from Pat, wear a mask if you're playing mini golf out there, everybody. And Black Lives Matter. Make sure you vote. Today we have a primary in Minnesota. Hopefully we are seeing another term of the Republicans' least favorite congressional member, Ilhan Omar from our district. Take that, all of you conservatives. She is from our area. Got to vote for her a second time. Hoping she kicks ass on all of the moderate and Republicans' choice to try to unseat her. And yeah, we also have look at that. We also have an election coming up, a big one, where we have our first African-American woman for VP that's going to be running too. So get out and vote. This stuff matters. Anything else from anybody else before we sign up?
No, we actually have our next video for O Stream Mini Golf on our YouTube page will be from the links with a couple of putts. Mini Golf US. I'm sorry. It was the first
That
one.
that one sucks.
I mean,
I bet the quality of it's really terrible.
It's a fun one. We got everyone playing, so
It's super
who
fun.
will win? It's a battle of the mini golf YouTubers, round 2, because we did that one before. So, yeah.
I'm looking forward to round 3 more. Sweet. Well, good evening from the Windmill. We'll see you here again at 10 p.m. Central Time, Friday night. Later.
Good night.